I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. And I think that's our challenge as people, is to figure out how our story can impact others and motivate them in a way to create their own greatness.
Welcome to the Welcome to the 3-on-3 podcast. That's right. You are tuned in once again to the number one basketball podcast in the universe. I'm here joined with my friends, my compadre amigos, Lou, oh no, that's Christian. What's going on?
We got a special treat.
You're not
Evan.
The
Pod Mambas come out of the shadows.
Yes, sir, man. The Pod Mambas say, you know what, Evan? You out here sailing the seas like Luffy and his friends. Christian said he's going to step in and be that guy, man. Christian, thank you for joining us on air, sir. We appreciate you, man.
I am the captain now. I am the captain now.
I'm here for it. We have a great show lined up for you guys today. We'll be talking about playoffs, man. My favorite time of year. I love it. Every game is great. Matters. We were talking about the West Coast, what's going on over there. We'll switch over to the East, and last but not least, we'll be touching on a big Dame injury, and what's next for the Bucks. But let's start with the West Side. So, guys, I have a question for you, real quick. Anybody can answer, and if you need to pause for like 5 seconds for dramatic, or not even dramatic, but just really reflecting on this answer, because it's a complex question. So I need you guys to really think about this. All right. So listen, okay. If you have the OKC Thunder versus 100 guys, who's going to win? I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there.
SGA versus 100 Jaws?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
OKC versus 100 Clips?
Yes, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
That might be the title, y'all. So, listen, who's going to win? Who's going to win? I'm just...
Listen, man. Listen. What, in true, you remember Family Guy, Consuela? Yeah, the cleaner lady. She's like, no. OKC's gonna do just like Consuela did and sweep them up out the way, just like it's happened, man. Come on now.
Why do you have to use the Latino?
It ain't never gonna happen.
Family Guy when I'm here.
Hey, it was a Family Guy reference, okay?
I got my eyes on you. I got my eyes on you.
Just happened to be okay. Here we go.
Hey man, Cinco de Mayo's around the corner, so I don't know.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
My bad. Am I adding to it? My bad. My bad. Love you guys. I love it.
Come on, man.
But on a serious note, y'all, the OKC Thunder swept the Memphis Grizzlies in just fantastic fashion. Now, one will say, though, that Ja was injured. He had a crazy fall. He was bridged, and it looked bad. It looked bad. It was hard to watch, even on replay. So, I hope he recovers from that during the off season. Some will say that caused it. Ja also went on record and basically said that we had him figured out.
It'd be 2-2.
Said that it'd be 2-2. Christian, you calling cap on that, man?
Him and Scottie both said the same thing. Scottie Pippen said the same.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, he said that we had him.
Scottie Pippen Jr. had him.
We had him right where we wanted.
Come on, man. Listen here. First of all, perfect opportunity missed when he asked if he calling cap. You mean Ja busting that cap? But point is, he had a chance. Well, I will say this: Game 4 was close, right? They only lost by 1. Memphis played with some heart. And to be honest, man, Scottie Pippen, man, this is the best we've seen him in his entire career so far. And so it looks like he's found the right place to be at in terms of finding the right fit. But nah, it's the wasn't just the number 1 team in the West. It was the number 1 team in the NBA for a reason. A well-oiled machine. in the OKC Thunder. I am surprised though that Dort didn't catch a suspension, but because
How do you not?
that was
That's not a basketball player. I don't understand how they didn't suspend at least for a game.
Yeah, that's at least a 1 game suspension. Not that it would have changed the series much, but
Well, you never know.
Yeah, that is true. There's been a couple of those questionable plays. But what do you guys think? I know we talked about it a little bit. We could dive into it for a minute or two right now. What's next for the Grizzlies, man? This year, one would say, has really not been a great year. This was an anticipated year. Ja was supposed to be back from his, gun incidents, and then he was injured and missed 30 or so games. Jaren Jackson Jr. was supposed to take that jump or leap, but we didn't see that. They went and fired Taylor Jenkins. This looks like a mess. I'm not gonna lie. The Grizzlies look like a mess right now. I hope, I'll say this, I hope they don't come back the same next year. We need to see some movement, some type of pieces being moved. And the question is, what's out there for them to get? So I don't know. What do you guys think is next for them?
Well, Jaren Jackson, he needs to learn not to put himself in position to foul people. And I feel like someone who's always considered a defensive player of the year candidate, he doesn't have enough awareness to not do that sort of stuff. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but they definitely need like another scorer other than Ja. And I know Bane is a great scorer, but for some reason I just feel like he doesn't really move the needle for them. They don't really have closers. They don't really have defenders. And I don't like. Is Marcus Smart still on the team, or did they trade him?
No, I think that's a good question. I think he's still there. I think he's still there.
So I mean, he could have really helped them in this matchup. I think if OKC didn't have Hardenstein, if they weren't able to get Hardenstein, I think Memphis would have had a better chance against them.
So you think he would have moved the needle for them?
I think Hardenstein moved the needle for OKC a lot as far as defending the paint against people like Edie, who could honestly get anything he wants on most teams because he's so tall and is so good around the rim.
Marcus Smart's not with them. But
okay.
He's with the Wizards.
Oh, that's right. What trade was he a part of on that one? They traded him for who? But for who? Who did they get?
Nobody that mattered, clearly. Yeah. It wasn't Bagley.
No,
there.
He was.
I got to give Scottie Pippen credit because he really took a step forward this year.
Yeah.
When he was on the Lakers, I didn't really see what he was going to be projected as. I had hope for him, but to see him flourish as he has with Memphis these last 2 years, it's great to see. But if you're going to rely on Scottie Pippen Jr. to be your third best scorer on a playoff team, like,
yeah, no, they need more.
They need more than that.
They need more, and
out
there. Go ahead.
You still have a rookie in Edie who showed some promise in terms of what you were talking about from the defensive end. You have another big body in there, a true center that you can have to defend, to give Jaren Jackson the opportunity to be able to be more of that wing guy and not necessarily have to be the core of your defensive presence, similar to what OKC has with Chet and Hartenstein. But you get what you guys have mentioned is right? So you have a guy that's like a Jalen Williams, right? In Scottie Pippen or in Bane. I think the next piece was going to start for them next year is they're going to look to see, okay, can this coaching change turn things around? Can we get something like how Houston got when Ime came in and we get an opportunity to change things around? And I think if they don't have that in terms of next year, with then maybe to look some other pieces. But if they don't have the opportunity to do that next year, I think that then they really start looking about what pieces do we seriously look to shop around.
But
they need a better bench. They need a better bench, honestly. They need a
better everything. But also, like, this is what my chief argument was with the firing. This coach literally did the best he could with what he had. he overachieved with this assortment of pieces, and yet you let him go, and you still need pieces. You get what I mean? Like you still need pieces. So to me, if you get another coach and you don't do any change, you're doing more of the same, right? You're doing more of the same. Now, I'll say this: I think they need somebody a la when he was healthy, Chris Middleton, somebody who can score, who can also defend, and it has
You
to
can
be like a
close.
small forward. Yeah, because Bane is kind of like
A wing,
their
a wing
yeah,
three and D
yeah,
guy.
a wing 3D guy. That I think that's what they would benefit from the most. But who's out there? That's not a land of plenty, right? That's the land of lean. There's not too many of those guys in the NBA.
I
So
don't
I
know.
Yeah.
really don't know how
Do
much
they
more they
think?
can
Do
do.
they think
But
Aldana's that guy?
I don't know
I
what they were
mean,
thinking, honestly. He has though. He has had a great season. I had
yeah,
him on my fantasy, so
Whoa,
I
he's
know his
7 feet.
stats.
I didn't even realize he was 7 feet. He doesn't even look 7 feet.
yeah,
What the heck?
Yeah,
yeah. I
I
mean, it's
have
like
him on.
Hartenstein.
Yeah, so he's had a good season, but he's not that guy for you though. You need somebody to take the pressure off of Ja, right? If you're gonna make it in this heavy West Coast,
Yeah,
you're gonna need somebody, man. And you're not talented enough, a la a Houston Rocket, right? Where you can do it without like a clear second guy. You get what I mean? Like, even though to me, Sengun is that guy that's putting up the consistent
yeah,
numbers. Everybody else in Houston isn't. It's an assortment, right? But that team does it consistently, right? Meaning somebody shows up consistently, whereas that wasn't the case for Memphis. And I think you get your best chance with shipping out Jaren Jackson Jr., man.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Ja.
Hmm.
Because
No, 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 no. You
Nah.
keep Ja.
I think Memphis is like really close to just blowing it up and just starting over again.
I'll
And
say this.
if that's gonna happen, I'm just gonna say it. Ja for Jalen Green.
no. Ooh,
Oh,
I was about to be like, no, don't
you
do
thought
it here.
you thought
Don't
it was
go.
the Laker.
Oh
Oh
no, he
man,
doesn't. No, he wouldn't fit with Luca. I have another option for the Lakers, but we'll talk
oh
about that
man.
later.
We'll get to
We'll
that.
get to that
Okay,
later.
yeah. Let's move on. Speaking of which, let's move on though. Let's talk about the Rockets since we were talking about them. They went down to the Dubs, Golden State Warriors. The other night, the series is now 3-1 Golden State way. Now, this was the game where Jimmy Buckets came back. He had a fall himself too. These cats falling, man. Getting bridge. He had a tailbone or lower back injury, severe bruising, which if anybody
Not
here
the
knows,
same type of as Dwight Howard, but we'll continue.
wow, yeah, a different type of lower back bruising. That,
What's wrong with me, man?
he occurred.
Come on, we're talking. Oh, I'm sorry. It's too early for Lakers talk. My fault.
My bad. We'll get there. We'll get there. So Jimmy Buckets comes back. He's clearly a help. They ink it out. It was a close game though, all the way through. They just beat them. What's going on, man? Are we seeing experience triumph over youth? Is this the narrative of this
I'm
series?
seeing the
This
greatest
is what
point
I
of all
said.
time needing Jimmy Buckets to come and save him. That's all I've been seeing.
Look, oh my gosh, look,
Here we
man.
go.
This is what I said before. Experience comes in this, especially in the playoff time, man. Great team, great coaching, but experience, man. Can't beat that. Can't beat that, especially when, like we were just mentioning before, you have one clear, consistent guy. The biggest reason of Houston's success this season was their defensive prowess, right? And how they were been able to play all season long. But then, now you get pulled into this slower half court game, where it's not the same. You don't have the same opportunities for a main to go and be as explosive as he is. And you don't have Jalen Green can't hide behind just defensive and fast breaks and so on. You have to show up and score. Jabari, how long have I been saying they should have found value for Jabari? You have a guy that's scoring single digits in the playoffs, right? Who is supposed to be at some point your second option.
He was supposed to
Sengun
be
continues to be.
yeah.
Why don't they
Yeah,
run?
Sengun-
Why don't they run in the playoffs though? I mean, if that's your strength, why are you allowing the Warriors to dictate half court offense?
Because what else can you do if you
Run.
can't have consistent play? No, how are you going to run if you
It's
can't steal the
different.
ball? If you
Yeah,
can't
that's what I'm
cause
saying.
turnovers, how are you going to run?
They're
How are you
running
going
off.
to run if they're taking care of the ball? If they're taking fight,
Bricks,
Did you say
dude.
fight?
No, bricks. I mean, they could fight too. I mean, I
Oh,
would love
But
to see that.
but that's the
Yeah.
thing. They're going to be outscored. Golden State is great from
Exactly.
3, and
They're not
the
making every three though. You could grab the long rebound and just push it. They're
yeah,
not
but the
doing
law
that.
of averages say they're going to
but
lose.
They didn't do it
absolutely. But
last. They
also,
didn't do it last game.
this last game, with the biggest piece of why they lost is because look, you can't if a team shoots 22 free throws and scores 20, and you shoot 20 what you shoot almost 40 free throws and
19
you
for
shoot
31.
19, yeah,
19
19 for 31.
You gotta hit your free throws, bro.
You can't win. You
Yeah, they
can't
missed
win
10 in
in
the
the
first
playoffs. Now,
quarter.
exactly. So how are you supposed to win in the playoffs if you can't
I'm just saying
knock down your free throws,
the
man?
Warriors only hit 37% of their 3-point shots last game. I mean, that's a great mark, but it's not what they
37%.
I know, but they usually hit like 40
Yeah,
something,
but
no?
also the Rockets are
the
still good defensively. It's not like they're playing against a team that's, mid or towards the end. To shoot 37% against a great defensive team is saying something. So it's like,
Yeah,
I
man.
get it with just still
But you
running,
only
but
have
it's like
14
at what
fast break
cost?
points. 14 to the Warriors 10. You're only a +4 in fast break. And the whole
Yeah.
season, you've been a fast break team. So like, why aren't you doing that more?
Because that's what happens even a slower
I know it
half-court
does,
pace
but
game.
again, why do teams allow that to? Why do teams allow the playoff? Once the playoffs happen, it's truly a half-court game. But why do teams allow that to happen? They could easily just keep on running the ball.
No, you can't.
I
It where?
because
I disagree.
because
I
if
think
the
they
other
could.
team
They just
changes,
don't.
but if the other team changes their scheme, how are you supposed to, you can't force
You're
that to
allowing
happen.
them to dictate the game. Why are you
Christian,
allowing the Warriors to dictate the game?
If I'm the other team and I go set up my defense, what are you running to? You get what I'm saying? Like, what are you running to? Like, that's how they dictate the pace. They say, all right,
attack the
because
paint.
we're getting
Yeah,
back.
because now not only is that, they're being more conservative with how they're doing it, because now their possessions are way more calculated. And you know how it is. Playoffs, the playbook looks completely different, right? So what is it that we're going to run in the playoffs? I'm going to never forget. Greg Popovich, we talk about it. He says we haven't even whiffed 80, like 60% of our playbook, and we're not even talking about the playoffs, right? When we talk about, oh well, Spurs, they're the 7th seed, and he says, don't worry about it. Wait till we get close after the All-Star break, close to the playoffs. Completely different plays get pulled out because now we're gearing up. We're getting playoff ready. You don't allow a team to, even the Suns in their heyday with their style of play, were they able to run on teams in the playoffs? What was their success?
Get to Western Conference Finals and lose to the Spurs.
Exactly.
You guys. They didn't run on
You know
you
what I'm
guys.
saying? Teams that dictated how the game went because they were the better half-court team. So
By the way,
it's been proven time and time again.
Let me say what I saw last game, game 4. I was really impressed with how the Rockets looked when Sengun brought up the ball. And I feel like that's saying a lot when Jalen Green is supposed to be your quote unquote all-star, and he is averaging less than double-digit points for the last 4 games. Well, I guess not, because he had that 38-point game, so the averages go up. But you know what I mean? Like he's scored single digits like 3 times, right?
They need to run the ball through Sengun more. Honestly,
they do.
I've been saying it since his first season.
No,
he's the best player on that team.
Van Vliet will come it up and they'll move it around. They don't run it through. I hate to say it. Look what Denver's doing. If you got a baby Jokic, right, have him initiate your offense and run it through him and get your people moving. But they don't go.
Listen, they squandered a career 3-point shooting by Van Fleet yesterday.
Oh, he was on it. He was keeping them in the game.
That dude is not going to be hitting shots like that again.
That's Toronto Van Fleet right there.
Yeah,
that's who showed up.
But I like seeing.
I got one more in me.
That Sengun Steven Adams pairing was just doing work on the small Warriors lineups. It wasn't until at the end of the fourth when they had to sit Steven Adams because they're doing the hack of Adams.
Adams.
By the way,
yeah.
why is that still a thing? Why is the NBA still allowing teams to hack whoever? Shouldn't that be take fouls at this point? They're doing it purposely.
They changed the rules though, because if you
The
do
last
it
2 minutes.
the last 2 minutes.
But
Yeah.
just make it the whole freaking game. Like that shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't
Well, here's the
allow
thing.
teams to do that.
The strategy is never for the whole game, right? It's for
Right.
that period of time. So it's no use in making that a blanket rule, right? Because in the times that it would be used in strategy, effectively the NBA understood of where to eliminate it, and they did that, right? And but look, Steven Adams,
fine
he's a
with it.
liability on defense.
Yeah,
Look,
I mean,
I give
offense.
credit for the Warriors for doing it because they found a way to sit him down because they knew Steven Adams was giving them issues.
hey man, make it free
Yeah.
throws.
And the Warriors are great about finding those loopholes, illegal screens, Draymond kicking
Dude.
people. They find
12 free
those
throws.
loopholes, bro. Find those loopholes.
You can't miss 12 free throws.
No, you can't. No.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's really where the
that
game was
that was
lost.
that was my biggest note on Houston was their lack of making free throws.
Yeah,
last
man, we can't. We could dissect whatever we want to, but if you leave 12 points on the board,
And you lose by
Before
3.
Before we move on, though, I just want to say, how long is the NBA going to allow Draymond Green to do all this bullshit on the court? Because
man.
how do you have a reputation? Like it's just dumbfounding to me because how do you have a reputation of always being a nuisance and doing these little things that will get kicked
It's
you out of the game?
antagonist.
Since back in 2015, 2016 when they played the Cavs, and yet the refs are afraid to tee him up. How do you have both? How are you fined for doing antics like that by the league, and then also not being reprimanded for doing the same antics in the playoffs?
I don't disagree with you, but I also feel like this whole playoff, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, these are the most physical playoff we've seen in years. It hasn't been that way. Honestly, it hasn't been that way since what? Detroit,
Yep.
right? Can we say
Yep.
that? Detroit?
And it's been happening with a lot of teams. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the league is clearly shifting on how they call playoff basketball. So I don't think you're gonna get that accountability during these playoffs, Christians. But I agree with you in the sense of he should be, and not just him, Isaiah Stewart. He needs to be held accountable too. I think during the regular season, they need to be reined in a little more. But if we're honest with each other, at the end of the day, as much as we love the sport, NBA is still an entertainment business. And Draymond is still that evil villain that people hate, but they come to see. You get what I mean?
yeah,
And
exactly.
the NBA got so much flack for when they suspended him against the Cavaliers series, right? Because that's an asterisk to some people, basically saying the
Yeah.
NBA, what Stephen A say, gave him a stimulus package. That's what Stephen A. I hate to quote him,
With the
but they got so much
the
flack on that
Bogut injury,
Christian.
and then
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I'm with you, but I think in these playoffs right now, have they been physical and people are liking it? Draymond's gonna. This is his
You
heyday.
can be
He's gonna
physical.
go
It's one thing
over
to be physical. It's another thing to wrap your legs around people.
to be dirty.
To
Yeah.
be dirty. I mean,
no, look,
eventually you can't be having the refs getting yelled at by Draymond and not do anything about it.
yeah. See, the thing is, I agree there has to be some balance of it, though. No problem with teeing them up, but as we know, playoff basketball is always more intense. That's what people come to see, and like Han said, at the end of the day, it's entertainment. This playoff is great for ratings for the NBA right now. So they're going to try to protect the product as best as they can to keep the viewership and the interest going on, even if that means, hey, we got to take an L on what we normally would frown upon. But if it's going to get us our overall goal and getting back to where we were in terms of our viewership, then we're going to bite the bullet on that.
I mean, how far are they going to let them go though? Like, what's the line?
I think when you start, I agree. I think when you start seeing people from the floor grab a leg down, and when it gets to that point, I think they're gonna come down on it.
Are they not going to? They're not going to do anything about it until Draymond clotheslines someone. Is that
basically.
what's gonna?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. He has
Well,
to kick somebody in the balls. Come on, Christian. That's the
all
line. Come on, man. Let's move on. Come on. You know the line, Christian. Let's get to this matchup, man. Lakers. They went into the Twin Cities, man. And it was a cold, cold Sunday for the Lakers. All right, I'm taking too much of this. All right. The Lakers went in. It was a great, great matchup. I honestly was scared in the beginning because Luka was going off, hitting his three, and I was like, oh my God.
Scared?
Not scared, but I was just like, I didn't want it to be
Whose
a
side are
blowout.
you on?
You know whose side I'm on.
Oh,
I'm on
okay.
everything against Lakers. What are you talking about? I've made that clear. Matter of fact, I'm waiting for my Laker hater shirt. Matter of fact, we're gonna take shots when the Lakers.
I thought we
lose.
were
That's
an
what's happening.
objective podcast. I guess not.
Since when? We've never claimed that. We claim to be the number one.
Nah.
Oh, I guess it's just
basketball podcast.
wishful
There's no
thinking.
objection.
This is
No,
wishful
that's-
thinking, I guess.
Go to ESPN for that. Okay, so but yeah, man, no, this was surprising. Like I said, I didn't think that the game was gonna go as it did. Luka was coming out shooting, but man, the resiliency of this Timberwolves team, the youth, the defense that was being played, yeah. But we'll start first with our resident Laker expert. I want to see if you
Luke.
saw something that we were. Not Luke. I want to see if you saw
Yeah,
something
right.
that we didn't. Like, what changes, right? You guys still have one more game. It's really not over because as much as we want to give credit to the Timberwolves, they're still kind of young. Remember, they're still kind of young. They're not super seasoned. They still have to follow through. Game's not over, right? Job's not done. Shout out to Kobe. What adjustments? What did you see? Where did the Lakers go wrong? Where did JJ go wrong? What happened, man? This is free space, safe space.
I'm gonna try to keep it as short as possible.
JJ Thibodeau.
I'm just gonna keep it as short as possible. All right. I think it really just comes down to the Wolves having a better small ball lineup than the Lakers do. I think their small ball lineup is better offensively, and they're way better defensively. I don't remember the
You mean
last time
AR-15 isn't a premier
I just don't
perimeter defensive
All right,
player?
all right, relax. I just don't remember the last time I've seen just an overall team defend the way they do, and just in a basic standpoint as like just moving your feet. You know, a lot of teams tend to play, players a certain way, like they're tunneling them somewhere. The Wolves just stay in front of people. They don't even allow you to get past you. And I have to give them credit for that because
them in Detroit.
Because AR, Luka, LeBron, they can't get past anyone on the first step right now. And if they're not running sets, which they aren't, I think they're hitting like 40% set plays ran. And in the fourth quarter, forget it. That's like pretty much all ISO ball. That's really what's the downfall of the Lakers. The Lakers actually have been outscoring the Wolves in the first three quarters, I believe, and it's the fourth quarter they're just getting demolished. And it's not surprising because the Lakers played their most ISO ball in the fourth quarter. So if that doesn't tell you something, then I don't know what. And on top of Jackson Hayes just being a totally non-factor, and Luka needs that lob threat dimension, and he's not there. Dorian Finney-Smith is shuffling his feet in mud. This idea that DFS is this all defensive, first defense, all player that the Lakers needed and we're glad to get for DeAndre Russell is a farce. He's not that guy. And
Vando was that guy.
And Vando is that guy, but
he's that guy.
He's playing 7 minutes a game, and they're using him as a de facto small ball 5. So I mean, you would think they would just stick him on Ant.
Who else used to do that? Yeah,
Darvin Scam. You think you're gonna bait me on that? I know exactly what you're trying to say.
I'm just saying, bro.
And Christian's saying, and you see the results.
You see the results. I've been you guys know me since last year. I've been a big proponent about not playing small ball lineup. I hate it. Yeah. I think it's the dumbest. It's the dumbest thing ever.
So does this give credence to our missing team member here's assessment on should you guys have just kept that trade? with Connect.
AD?
No.
Oh, with Mark Williams?
Yeah.
I don't know. He probably would have been injured.
You don't think he would have been available, Christian?
I mean, it's tough to tell. That injury, they must have saw something with that injury history that they just didn't like moving forward in the future.
Right.
So I didn't really harp him on it. But even Dalton Connect, if you have Dalton Connect, why wouldn't you at least throw him out there to try to get you 9 points, 12 points from threes?
Right, but here's what you're saying, though. There's credence to what you're saying. It's not working. Perimeter-wise, the Timberwolves have been defending elite. And this goes back to last year. Remember, we were talking about them. They have long forwards and guards who can stay in front of you, and they do it without fouling too. So they're not hacking that type of deal. They're not the hackers. They don't play with their hands.
aggressive.
Yeah, they're aggressive.
By the way, Julius playing the best defense of his life. Let's be objective
listen,
here.
no,
I've never seen
Julius. Same. I was like, who is that? This guy was moving and flying around the court. He wants to win. I think he believes in this team too, though. It's something when you buy in to this team, and also he gets a little rest on the offensive side of the ball too. You got Ant doing things, so he has a little more energy. But man, to say that though, like that small ball is real, is what you're saying, because the Timberwolves are not only solid defensively, they're tall. They're tall, so they're gonna out rebound you. They're going to finish down low. And if you take Jackson Hayes out, yes, I know he was in foul trouble, but you gotta burn those fouls to at least disrupt this lead that they're going on. That's what blew me. Like at the end of the day, on the second half of the game, why not throw it in there, disrupt what's going on, force different matchup defensively, and give yourself a little chance.
And Jackson Hayes is not the only center who's being played off, because Rudy Gobert, Mr. Defensive Player of the Year 4 times, like hasn't played anything. He hasn't done anything this series. So he, he's been doing is flailing his arms around, elbowing people on the head.
Look. Sometimes that's all you need when you have the construction of the current team right now. You bringing in Randall to do it. For Randall to give me that type of performance, yes. Gobert, just go stand there, clog it up. So yeah, when somebody like LeBron want to slash, nah, they ain't there for you. Or like you said, cut off that lob that Luka has, like, because now if we play you straight up, you have no lob option.
There's no lob.
We here right in front of you.
He's trying to lob it to DFS. You can't even get above the rim. So I mean,
you feel me? And then another thing, man, like especially what you mentioned before, and let's talk about from what you wanted to say. Why doesn't Houston play this way? Why don't they force Golden State into playing the pace where they still play fast and being able to score off turnovers? And this is what Minnesota was able to do and capitalize with you guys, right? Being able to with fast break points, 16-7, and then in second chance points off turnovers was in 19-5, or so they've been able to then capitalize on all the turnovers that they've been, especially from that defensive perspective, that they've been able to do and turn it up on you guys. What do you guys do to then limit that? Because you know what happens: great defense makes easy offense, and the Lakers can't afford to have that. Especially how you guys been playing in the fourth quarter. What you guys got? They doubled your score in the fourth quarter. Was it 16-33, something of that sort?
It's crazy. It's like they've outscored the Lakers like 100 something to like 70 or something like that. Like it's just the Lakers have played well in the first 3 quarters. The fourth quarter that they just completely just melt down, and it's been like that for the last 2-3 years. Even with Denver, it's the same thing. They were leading Denver for first 3 quarters, and the fourth quarter comes around, and they totally just shit the bed. Too much ISO. They don't have something to counteract the hedging that the Wolves are doing, because they're hedging like a mother. They are hedging like they're not allowing you to switch nothing. And if you don't have something to, a slip screen, even the slip screens aren't where they should be. When they're running their horn sets, like they're scoring a lot. But yet I see too much ISO. I see LeBron clicking shit, with the game on the line.
Take the favorite shots that you love.
His 33-foot clanker from the elbow 3. Like, what are we doing, man? Your legs are dead. Your legs are dead. JJ played you for 24 minutes straight. Why are you making that shot? Yeah. Why are you shooting that shot? JJ, why are we playing 24 minutes straight?
You guys, I'll say this because we got to move on. You guys got to mix things up some way, somehow. The Wolves are not going to be a team where straight up effort is going to get you over the hump. You gotta mix it up with the lineups as well too.
I think
Hopefully though,
I
go
think
ahead.
they win. I think they win this next game, but I don't
The
know
Lakers.
about. Yeah, I don't know if they'll win Game 6. We'll see.
No, I can see them. I can see them doing what they did. Remember the first game they lost. The second game, the Wolves weren't really in it too much, right? But I'll say this: if the Lakers win the next game, I think it's going to be by a close margin. It's not going to be how they did game 2. Remember game 2, they were up by 20. They ran away with it. They kind of pounced on the Wolves as soon as the game started. I think the Lakers will show more effort. I think you're going to see hero ball from LeBron, but I also would hope that the Wolves kind of are mature and let them get it out and start to get into the game. And I think it'll be a close game.
Listen. Shannon Sharp, I don't care if you call it Polycarp, you won't hear that music playing on the heart. Wolves in 5.
And on that note, let's move on, fellas. Let's move on. All right, we're short on time. We'll keep this quick right now, since as we're presently recording, this game is not even over, or even close, or even started. Denver Clippers.
All right, we
Man,
can move on. That's all you need.
freaking Aaron Gordon, man.
We need to get
Freaking
to the
Aaron
East.
Gordon,
We need to get to
man.
the East, bro. No, it's playing.
Stupid Aaron Gordon, man. Stupid Aaron Gordon, man.
Big up to my guy, Aaron Gordon.
I ain't like him ever since he started growing locks. I'll say it. I ain't like him ever since he started growing locks.
I feel like every matchup other than Cleveland and Miami and OKC and the Grizzlies have been very competitive, including the Clippers, Denver Nuggets.
100%.
And
Yeah,
seeing
100%.
Zubac step up to be that, who he is, I will forever never forgive Magic Johnson for trading him for Mike Muscala. I'll never forget.
Yeah, but you want to know what's
It
crazy
was for
about
the
that,
hair.
man?
It's for the hair.
Just for the hair. As great as Zubac has been, Joker still makes him look like he's a son. That is what's crazy to me. Like, he's having a career season on both sides of the ball. And then when Jokic goes, he looks like he's just helpless. Like,
You know how
that is
frustrating that is? Like, I probably
wild.
would be home. I'd be kicking stuff in the locker room. Like,
That is
why is he so
wild.
good?
It's wild. Like, I wasn't around. Is this what Wilt was doing to people? Like, is this what it was?
No.
It was different.
Like,
It's like if Hakeem was playing today's game, I think it would be like the same thing.
that is just crazy, the dominance. But I'll say this, man. This series is very competitive. I said it off air. I don't want it to go 7. As much as I've been disappointed with the Clippers, because I've been rooting for them for a while, disappointed with Kawhi. To see him still healthy, where's the wood? I need to knock on. Sorry for the sound, Christian. Knock on wood. He continues to stay healthy throughout the series, man. I think I like the Clippers, man. I really like them. I want them to come out this series, but at the same time, I love watching this series, man. It is great basketball. If you're an enthusiast, you love what you're seeing because you're seeing great coaching. You're seeing Tyronn Lue give you great coaching. You're seeing Jokic give you great coaching. Did you see how in the
Facts.
game he coached?
Yes.
So I think it was like the
Yes.
last seconds of the third quarter. He said, DeAndre Jordan, come in. He did that. He made that play. Had DeAndre come in so they wouldn't throw a lob to get a 0.8 second shot. Like, he is running. He is the coach. And it's just marvelous to see, man. It is
That's not a
beautiful
good look
basketball.
for Adelman, or that's his name, right? Adam.
Yeah.
That's
Adam,
not a good look for him.
It's
for
not.
trying to get
Listen,
that coaching job next
listen.
year.
The owner said, whatever he says goes. So Joker, whatever he says goes.
He even said it because on their first game, Jokic grabbed the clipboard and started doing plays.
Yes, it started drawing up the plays. Right?
Yeah, he said, "I want."
It's
Jokic
way
to
different from when,
coach."
it's way different from LeBron coaching. Nah, LeBron is like, do this, that, and third, and then give me the ball.
Was it Bill
Yeah.
Bill Russell coaching?
Yeah, basically.
Word.
But this series has been great. I know we have to move on. It has been great. I think it's gonna go 7, although I don't want it to go 7. I still
neither,
think
Hans.
though.
I don't think so. I think Denver wins it in 6.
Really, Denver in 6.
Yeah.
Put it on wax. Denver in 6 because he hates the Clippers.
That's it.
Got it.
I just don't think Kawhi. I don't think Kawhi is going to be able, because Kawhi had that great game where
He had all great games.
The last game wasn't that great.
Are we sure? Were you watching?
Yeah, I was watching. I saw
You
that. I saw
watching?
that Aaron Gordon put back.
You watching? Yeah, but Kawhi helped them bring them back. That was Kawhi.
I
Kawhi
know
did
he
that.
did,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Kawhi's been great. I'm just saying that I don't think that knee's gonna hold up. It's been a I don't know,
My
it's been a
gosh.
lot. It's
We're
been
gonna
a
have
lot.
we're moving on. All right,
A lot
guys.
on his
Thank you.
back. A lot on his
Thank you,
back,
Christian. All right. Moving on, because that's gonna be the only LA team left anyways. All right. Moving on to the East Side, East Coast. East Coast, y'all. We'll start off with the Miami Heat versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Swept them out of here. There was a storm in Miami. It
Oh
swept
man,
everybody away, man. They're gone.
their
They're fishing.
their vacation started very early
Yes, and they're
from
not,
the arena to the boat.
boom, right there. They're not far from the shore. They're right there. They're right
Let's
there.
go straight to Cancun, baby.
Hey, but Miami did not put up a fight in this series. It's been lopsided. This last one they lost by 50 plus points. What do you guys think about Tyler Hero not showing up and Bam not really being spectacular? What's going on with Miami, man? What do they need to do?
Jimmy's vindicated.
Sell the team.
Sell the team? The whole team? Really?
And send that team to Seattle. They need a team.
Oh my goodness. They're not getting rid of Miami, man. They're not getting rid of Miami.
Nah,
Miami's here to
nah,
stay.
that team ain't going
Maybe they
nowhere.
could package Tyler Hero with 2 firsts and try to go get someone next year. Maybe that'll help.
Done.
Mr. We ain't going down 4-1. All right, man.
Yeah.
You guys were
You're right.
you guys were done after the
you're
first
right.
quarter.
Yeah, correct. You're done.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
What do you do?
I mean,
what do you do
look,
with that
what-
team? Does Pat
I'm about
Riley
to say,
come
what
down?
can you do? Yeah, but not only like, what do you package? Who do you package on that team?
Damn, I mean that's your only asset.
Baby.
It has to be Bam. Bam. I don't know what their picks look like, but
Maybe Gonzalez.
Gonzalez? You mean Jaime Hawkins? What's wrong with you, man? Honestly, what's wrong with you?
Hawkins, Gonzalez, it's all the same.
I couldn't. I'm sorry.
Mexicans
I
the
couldn't
same
help
to you?
myself.
Consuela, Gonzalez, Jaime Hawkins, they're all the same to you, aren't we?
I'm sorry.
Arriba. That's all you hear, huh?
We're gonna get canceled.
Yo, I'm sorry. I was waiting to see what he was gonna say when I said Gonzalez.
What's wrong with you, man?
Yeah, so Chris is on the team.
Yeah, I'm on the team. I mean, I could probably shoot better than Tyler Hero.
Oh no. All
Okay,
right, let's
my
move on.
bad.
before
I
we
derailed
get
this. I derailed this. My bad. My bad.
No, but for real, like does Pat need to step down? Is this it for him? Because he's been very stubborn on a lot of things. He pretty much forced Jimmy out. He could have easily just given him a contract.
No, yeah. He was, but I don't know if they want to take that risk. I think the lore and legend of Pat, they're gonna ride that out. I don't think they have the balls.
I mean, I
to
get
do
it, but he ain't getting any younger. He's what?
You're right. He needs, but that's what I'm saying. He's gonna have to retire. They're not gonna get rid of him.
Yeah, he's gonna have to have a succession plan. But it's just again, if Bam is your only asset, it's not like you made it into the playoffs, so your picks aren't going to be that great either, right? So, what is it that you look to do? Tyler Hero, who's any allure of Tyler Hero has been gone. You should have traded him 3 seasons ago.
They tried. They tried to get multiple people. And they're like, Tyler Hero, what the hell? Get out of here.
Because nobody believed in it. It's not real. After he said he will never trade him, come on.
That part. That's why I'm like, you still feel that way, bro?
No, that was cool. That was because people kept saying him no, telling him no. So he was like, well, I didn't want to trade him anyways.
No. Kind of when you try to holler at a girl and she says no, you're like, oh, I ain't like you no way.
Or like when you're like, oh, can I play? You're like, no, we already got enough people. All right, I didn't want to play with you guys anyways. Like that.
Oh Lord.
Let
All
the
right,
heat
y'all.
let the heat simmer for a little bit. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, the heat's
Yeah,
gone. It's gone, bro. The heat's done simmering.
Cold
It's
summer.
Cold. It's cold over there.
It's cold out there. Got it. Cold snap. Global warming. All right, y'all. Let's move on. Let's move on to the series of the East, man. These Knicks versus the Detroit Pistons. So it is 3-2 right now. Detroit has prospered They've won.
That's some hard.
Prospect.
Yeah,
Some
man.
hard.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, dog. I know Ev had some reservations in terms of Cade being put out there for most improved. This dude's a baller. He is a baller. He is, to me, this is his breakout. Like, as a, hey, I'm gonna be talked about as one of the top players in the league for years to come. You need to put my name up there with, all these top guys that you're talking about, your Jason Tatum's, your Shea. You know what I mean? Like, I'm no longer in that, that step below Sun class of emerging. Like, to me, this is his breakout season to say, I'm no longer in that B class. Put me in that A class tier right now of players. You need to put some respect on my name. I, for one, have enjoyed every single minute of this series. I definitely thought it was going all the way. So shout out to Detroit. I didn't like how the last game ended. I know there was some controversy with that, right? With the Tim Hardaway shot and Josh Hart flailing at him. And I know people were saying that it was a physical series. This is my take on it. Understand it's been a physical series, right? They have really been letting them play, which I love it. But certain things have been ringing true throughout all the series is that they've been swallowing the physicality in the paint. Right?
They've been what?
They've been swallowing the whistle.
Oh, interesting. All right, sorry.
In the paint.
Swallowed up.
Yes. They've been gobbling up the whistle.
Interesting. All right.
In the paint.
Go on.
But the perimeter, they've still been protecting jump shooters. So my question is, why not protect the jump shooter there?
You didn't think it was a makeup for the game before?
You think that's what it was? It was a
makeup. Not even the same refs. It's not even the same refs.
A ref is a ref is a ref. You don't think they all sit there? Come on now.
Hey, text each other. Hey, can you make up a call for us?
No. Listen, if in game 2 they say after review, if they should go back and say after review, it actually was a foul, right? And it cost them the game.
They did that with LeBron and Ant. They were reviewing an out of bounds. Who was it out of bounds? And they like, oh, LeBron, we got the bird eye view from up top. They hit him in the wrist.
That was in game. They corrected it in game. So for refs to say post game, oh well, after review it was a foul.
Who does that help? That just makes me more upset.
I hate that so much.
But it's so say. But then now next game you get this quote unquote controversial call. For them, they see it as a wash.
But Evan's not here. He should be thanking God Almighty.
No.
That Josh Hart got away with murder, with assault.
He's not thinking. That's a New York brand, man. They greased the palms, man. They paid him off, man. What you mean? Man?
Pistons should be up 3-2 right now.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing. I'm gonna be real. This series has been close. As much as people want to tout the Knicks as being the clearly better team, no, they're not. I don't think they are. I think this team is evenly matched. Call it whatever you want. Them finally realizing that, hey, you know what? Cat versus Tobias Tobias is a mismatch. We should exploit that more. Like, for me, I'm sorry. If you're just now figuring out game 5 that this is a mismatch and you need to throw it down there more,
you don't deserve to win the series.
Exactly. You're right where you should be. You're right where you should be in this series. Like, what are we talking about right here, man? What are we talking about?
I like, and just for my every so often my resident Thompson praise. I don't know which one is playing, because you can't tell who's who.
A man or a
okay,
you don't know which one.
But in case it is a SAR, shout out to him because he's raising himself to be. What do you mean? Declare too.
He had a great game. Well, he had a good game.
Yeah, he's looking like.
I'm gonna be real with you.
He's rising up to be that clear too.
They need another 2. He's not it.
No, he's not.
They need another 2, and it's not Malik either.
Young. It was supposed
it's
to
definitely
be
not Malik
Tobias.
either.
It's not Malik.
And it's not Dennis Schroeder
Tobias.
Yeah.
Oh
Tobias should be that number 2, but
Tobias is supposed to be
Tobias is who he is.
Exactly.
He's always been
Tobias is barely a 3.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Tobias is who he is. But here's what I like about Tobias, though. Tobias is not in his head. There's no pressure. So he's focusing and doing what he needs to do for the game. He's you know what he is? He is an overachieving Sean Marion. Stop it.
Wow. Wow.
He's a
Overachieving
high-paid
Sean
Sean
Marion.
Marion. That's what he is. Stop playing.
No.
He's a high-paid Sean Marion, man. Just be the Swiss Army knife that you need to be. Give us the corner threes when we need to be. Defend our players and get out of here, man. Like them toting him up as being a solid number 2 or even a number 1. No, you are a solid Sean Marion, sir. Okay?
You gotta be a better
Sean Marion was a number 2 on the Suns at one point. Okay.
Stop it.
Tobias Harris is like a worse
Lou,
version of
stop it.
Rashad Lewis.
A worse version
Yeah.
of Rashad Lewis, 100%. But Rashad Lewis
Because
was
he's
a
nowhere near
clear
the Lewis
number.
athletic.
Yeah, but Rashad Lewis was like a solid. There was no denying he was a clear number 2 on the team. Number 1, Tobias is not even a number 3 anymore, bro. Like, but yeah. But anywho, I know we have to move on, guys. But I love this series. I think it's going 7. I don't know who's gonna pull it out. I don't want to put my predictions out there. I don't want to put my
I'm
predictions.
rooting for the Pistons.
They got to face the Celtics, though. The thing is, we have to beat the Celtics. We have to think strategically about
Listen,
it.
if the Lakers are gonna go out, I want everyone to come down with me. That's how.
Wow. Jesus.
I want the Clippers to come down. I want the Clippers to lose. I want the Warriors to lose. I'm hate watching the Warriors. I hate watching the Lakers. I'm hate watching the Knicks because the Knicks are just they're too like let's settle down. You guys haven't won anything in so long. Like let's just enjoy the moment.
My goodness. Settle down.
Hey, listen here, you sound a real Draymond Green like my boy.
Oh my goodness. All right, y'all.
I'm
Let's
speaking
move
my
on.
truth.
Let's move on. All right. Orlando Celtics. This game, as we're presently recording, is tight. Well, no, Boston's up by 10. It was tight.
I'm about to say
It was.
Don't
It-
Magic were
Boston-
ahead
Gentleman
for a
sweep
little
on the
bit.
way.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gentlemen
We're gonna
sweep on
call
the
it.
way.
I'm sorry. We're gonna call it.
Gentleman sweep loading.
Yeah, Celtics win. We're calling it. I don't care. If we're wrong,
Hello,
we're
how
wrong.
do you only have 11 shots and it's third quarter is almost over? What is happening?
Poor coaching.
Well, no, they don't have anybody outside of like Banchero. Who
Franz
else?
Wagner's shooting like he's Jordan Clarkson. Like, why is this man shooting so much? And he like jacks up.
But
shit. He's such a
Nah,
streaky
man.
shooter.
Last season he was actually formidable.
I'm talking
But
about this season.
They're shutting down Banchero, right? And they don't have anybody else. There's nobody else there. That's what's happening. They're a one-trick pony right now, and it's unfortunate. They've had a
You
great
saying
season.
Cole Anthony can't get
Anyways,
Yeah, exactly.
I've never seen
No
a 6'10"
Caldwell
player. I've never seen a 6'10" player act like he's a 6'2" guard. Like
You talking about Banchero?
No, Franz.
Oh, Wagner.
Yeah.
Wagner. Where's his
Wagner.
brother? His brother
Okay.
Well, no, I think his brother's out.
Yeah, Mo's not.
Yeah, his brother's out. Yeah, man. We're calling this Celtics go on. It's gonna be
I hate this. I hate that.
yeah, I know he hates it. The Celtics are moving on. We're gonna call it Celtics moving on. I'm curious to see though who they play next because I think this next series is gonna be it's gonna be great whether they play Detroit or the Knicks.
The Celtics literally won a series and didn't even have to play Tatum.
Tatum was
For, like,
he
4
came back
games.
though. They were beefing, but he has that bone bruise. I think the bone bruise is gonna matter more in the next series though.
Oh, Tatum did play. You're right. He did pretty well too.
Yeah.
He's doing pretty well today.
All right, y'all. Let's move on. Tonight, Bucks are going fishing, man. They're gone. They're out of here. And this was a sad game. Just for those who didn't watch it, man, the Bucks had the lead. They were up by 1, and it was a couple seconds left. They inbounded the ball to Giannis, threw it in the corner to Gary Trent Jr. Went in between his legs, went out of bounds, man.
Wait, who passed the ball? Giannis?
I think it was Giannis.
Yeah,
I can't even. If I'm a Bucks fan,
from
I can't even
top
be
of
mad at Giannis because look at this. Look at these numbers. Like, and I hate being a box.
Bruh, tripped up.
Bro,
But tripped
30
up.
points,
Beautiful.
20 rebounds, 13 assists. Like, what else do you want this man to do?
Tripped
Yes,
up,
sir.
bro. Herculean effort.
2
And
steals,
the sad part
2
is
steals, 2
Gary
blocks.
Trent was arguably
Yeah.
the hero,
Well, 33.
right?
Shot
No, he
17.
brought him back in that game. They were losing.
Yeah.
Gary Trent Jr. brought him
He
back in
hit
that
8
game, sent it to
three-pointers.
overtime.
Yeah, but he shot 17 of them.
But he made 8. That's all. He made 8.
I'm saying he shot 17 of
The
them.
fact that you even let him shoot that many as Indiana, that's your fault.
That's a step
He
stat
made
right
8.
there.
This
here
guy.
we go.
Here we go.
Look at that guy.
But
Get that
17
jack.
threes and 25 shots. Like that's a Steph stat right there. Like over
here
50%
we
of
go.
his
Here we go.
shots. Anyway.
We're on the Bucks here, Christian.
We're talking about the Bucks, bro.
So
Hey, what did Torian Prince do? Oh wait, 0 for 1 there.
Yes, man. So they lose in miraculous fashion. Pacers, they move on to the next round. What do we feel? How do we feel about this Pacers Cavaliers matchup? Is that must see TV?
No, Cavs will sweep again.
You think they're
Yep,
sweeping?
I'm about to say. Yep.
Okay.
With gentlemen
Yeah,
sweep
I
out.
give gentlemen. I say 4-1.
I really don't think Indiana is that team.
I don't think so either. I think they're
Yeah.
frauds, but I've said that last episode. So, but I give it 4-1. I feel like Cavaliers will take a break. Sit somebody.
They don't have anyone to like real. I mean, Miles. You think Miles
They have
Taylor's
no
gonna
real
defend? Yeah,
I was about to say they have
they
no
don't
real
have one.
defenders on their team because
Miles
Halliburton ain't
Turner?
defending the air.
Nemhard tries, but I don't think he's like that. I don't think he's like Lou Dort or anything.
Yeah, no, I think it's a solid matchup all the way around. They can't outscore the Cavs because the Cavs have been leading the league in scoring in 3 points. I don't think they could defend the Cavs either, but they could eke out one maybe.
Can we just fast forward to Cavs versus Celtics Eastern Conference Finals already? Because we all know what's gonna happen.
You don't think Detroit or the Knicks are going to beat the Celtics?
I think Detroit could beat the Knicks. I just don't think the Pistons could beat the Celtics. It's
Beat the
really
Celtics.
matchup dependent.
Yo, Hans, you good? Yeah.
I'm just saying, man. Why are we already? Come on, man.
Let's be real.
Trying to get rid of these Celtics, man. Come on,
Hey, yo,
man.
you good? You good for?
I think you're
Nah,
bearing
man.
I think you're bearing the lead with the Bucks, man. Let's just get to it already.
All right, let's go, man. Let's get to the Bucks, man. So, my favorite player right now, Dame, man, suffered a torn Achilles. He is this guy. He is out. And for those who are familiar with Achilles injuries, he's going to miss some of next season as well. Probably won't be back.
All of next season, bro.
Yeah, you never know, man. You never know.
That's a 9-month injury.
You never
Even
know.
more.
He got the blood clots back quick. You never know, man. Let me have my hopes and dreams, okay? So I let you mourn. Let me mourn. All right. So he's out. Bucks got eliminated. What the heck do the Bucks need to do? I'll say my answer and I'll let you guys go real quick. Giannis needs to go to the front office and say, look, if you want me to stay here, we need to change everything. And if that means getting rid of Doc, if that means getting rid of Dame, if that means we need to put players around me that will get me the results needed. Okay? Change needs to happen. And it's not subtle change. Change needs to happen.
Well, they
I'm
could
going to the
definitely
West
do.
Coast.
They could definitely do the coaching thing. I mean, Bovada already has Doc Rivers' next team as a plus 650 with Memphis, a plus 950 with Denver,
Oh my god.
a plus 950 with
Oh
Phoenix.
my gosh.
They had a plus 650 with Sacramento, but they just re-signed Doug Christie, so that's not gonna happen.
Oh, they did? They
yeah,
No,
it's
that's
signed
good.
Doug? Okay, that's good. I'm not mad at that.
yeah, it's good for us
Um,
too, for the Lakers. It's good
Right,
for
I
us.
bet it is. I have a question. Have we ever seen like a coach trade? Do you ever think teams will do that? Hey, yo, give me your coach.
Haven't they
My
done that
coach.
before? I feel like they've done that before, haven't they?
Has
Or
that
was
ever happened?
or was that an NFL?
Probably
thing?
not directly. It's just probably like, yeah,
No,
one
they
got
have.
booted, the other got booted, and they swapped.
I
But
could've
could you
sworn-
imagine during season they're like, look, listen.
Let's look
Give
it
me
up.
your coach, man. Just give me your coach. We'll give you ours.
It was
you
it
know?
was in cash with like with a cash incentive
Yeah, like a little cash incentive. Yeah, come on, man. Let's do this straight, man.
with the cap space.
I feel like coaches should be factored
Nah,
in with that, man.
Hey man, I'm down for that. You know what? Here's the thing, right? If I agree with you, Giannis has that serious talk with them. Say, hey guys, I need that LA Dallas treatment. Figure it out.
Hans,
Listen, man.
the Heat traded Stan Van Gundy to the Magic in 2007.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
From the internets.
Who did the?
I don't know,
What did they get?
that's besides the point. But that's
All right, I'll dive into that. That's very interesting. I'll dive into that.
But I would say,
The
well, I
Bucks-
would say if Memphis does look to make a move, does it hurt for Memphis to get, you know what I mean? For
Who are they gonna
the
get?
Bucks to go get Ja?
With what picks? They traded all their picks.
They're gonna get a hobbled Dame.
They have less picks than the Lakers. How are they going to be able to get people to go to them? If anything, Giannis is going to want out of Milwaukee. And it's time for Milwaukee to blow that shit up. You're not going to have Dame. You're going to be able to
Dame will
rely
take
on
you
Kyle
back in
Kuzma.
Portland, Dame. We miss you.
Yeah.
Take you back in
You're
Portland.
going to rely on Kyle Kuzma for a full season? Like, what are we going to do?
Bro, Kyle Kuzma blew my mind. I was like,
Darvin
y'all gonna
Ham's
have that guy?
Darvin Ham's going to be the new head coach. He's going to play Torian Prince for like 40 minutes a game.
Wow.
Giannis is going to ask out. It's just going to depend on where he wants to go. Miami, I mean, Miami is always thinking they're going to get anyone.
Yeah,
The
Miami.
Knicks, I know Giannis wanted to talk about New York. LA?
Clippers. I like that. I like that.
Relax.
All right, guys. We are up against it, out of time. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. As always, please check us out on our social media. We have a show on YouTube as well. So if you want to see our pretty faces, please check us out on YouTube. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, give us a thumbs up. If you really, really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button and the notification button so you can keep up with us every week. Be sure to follow us on all our socials at the 3on3 Podcast. Hey, got a question, topic you want us to talk about? Hit us up on our email at 3on3podcast@gmail.com. We appreciate y'all. Tune in next week.